I just started and I've gone fucking blank.
Hey, that happens to me all the time too, all right? That's why we normally just jump into conversation and we just go for it.
I feel like I haven't sat in front of a mic in weeks.
And that is the intro. 'cause
That's it,
I've
done.
fucking
This
got
is
it.
how the episode starts.
This is a collab between Barnzey Burns Down the World. Is that what it is?
It is Barnzey Burns Down the World and the European Mindset podcast with Kyle and George.
George and Kyle.
George and Kyle. I thought the order was the other way around.
So
No,
the reason
alphabetical
why that was a smart way to do it is because G becomes before K.
Yes, and I do understand that. There is a grammatical rule about how people are supposed to list things. It's like it goes... There's a certain order of like when you describe like color, location, like all that shit, and there's a natural way it sounds and an unnatural way it sounds. It's in literature. I don't know enough about it to properly explain on a podcast, but I'm going to pretend to know what I'm talking about.
But do you think that it sounds one way sounds better than the other because you get used to
Definitely.
You get used to it?
Definitely. It's the same thing. Like, think of who's the first couple that comes to your mind.
Kim Yi.
All right, so the couple, both names, whose name comes first when you first think of them?
Kanye.
Because K-A.
It's like George and Tiffany for me. If I say
Alphabetical.
Tiffany and George, it just sounds
It just
fucking
sounds
odd.
weird, doesn't it?
It's
Weird.
alphabetical order. It's simple
Yeah.
as that, bruh.
And not many people like even wrap their head around it. They just don't. It doesn't click with them, and they go, "No, it sounds more natural like this, but I don't know why." It's like, no, if you got that knowledge about why, you're better than everyone else.
This is definitely going to be a 4th of July episode. See how we've just fucking started it?
Dude. No, see, here's the thing. I'm just gonna call it 4th of July, regardless of when it comes out. So you're like, hey, we'll record on this day, break the illusion. It's the 31st of May.
Yeah.
And even if I think you thought June didn't come before July, so you could be like, yeah, we'll release it the next week.
Oh my fucking God.
And he's just realized it. Do you always have to deal with this kind of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, don't fucking bully me, alright? You picked it up, don't fucking do it again. I swear to God, I've just realized that June comes before July.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Because I made the same mistake.
Why didn't you say something?
Oh, because I was going to save it for this. Absolutely. So,
Fuck, call me out.
last...
That's fucking disgusting, Kyle. I'm
Shit,
sorry.
that is pus.
But hey, listen, you're not the only person that does it. So, when I did it, I fucked up. I thought that I was booking tickets for a comedy show at... when was it? I thought it was going to be the last 30th, as in like the 30th of April. And
Yeah.
so I booked the tickets in March to be sure, and it ended up being the 30th of May. So I was like, all right, sweet, I'm ready to go. Check the tickets, and I'm like, it's actually a month away. I was ready to leave the house.
Who are we going to watch?
Luke Kidgel.
Nah, fuck him.
Oh, you don't like Luke
Jimmy
Kidgel?
Carr. Jimmy Carr was
Carr.
in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that laughs. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's all over TikTok.
I love him. He's my favourite.
Dude, actually, so Jimmy Carr, the first time I ever saw him, I didn't even know what stand-up was. It was like 2011. It was a clip on Facebook, and someone in the audience shouts out, "Oh, when does the comedy start?" And he looks up and he goes, "There's
heckler.
so many." Yeah, and he goes, "There's so many ways I can respond to this. So what I'm going to do is," and he pulls out a chatterbox from his pocket, and he goes, "What's your name?" And the guy goes, "Jim," or whatever, all right? And then he goes, "All right, Jim. All right, what's your favorite color?" And he goes, "Blue." He goes, "All right, BLUE." And he opens it up and he goes, "If you want my comeback, you got to scrape it off your mum's chin."
Oh my God.
Okay? And
Fuck, what a way to fucking approach a heckler.
yeah, and it was perfectly paced. People thought it was a plant. It was just like circumstance of it just being too good. And that was one of the first, maybe 3 clips. Do you know Gabriel Iglesias?
Yes.
Yeah,
All
fat
right.
guy.
Yeah. He's had a bit about Indians robbing a bank and they can't do it because they're too nice. That was another clip on Facebook. It was Jimmy Carr, it was Gabriel Iglesias, and it was Bert Kreischer.
Don't know who that is.
All right, there's a fat guy who takes his shirt off and he does stand up completely shirtless.
Are you fat shaming?
No. He says that he's and it's out there. It's like a full ruler ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I never heard of him.
Yeah, I
You've
don't
never
think I
heard
have
of Bert
either.
Kreischer.
Nah.
So I respect the guy, but on a personal level, I dislike him.
Why?
So he resonates with me because he's a fucking raging narcissist. He just talks about himself, his life, his family. Everything's about him and what he does. And I go, man, respect that, but I fucking hate listening to you talk. He has this obnoxious laugh. He overdoes it all the time.
Yeah, sometimes that can kill a real good fucking comedy, like
I was-
either Netflix series or whether
It's
you're
not in the
at...
specials. It's not in the specials. It's in the podcast. So you'll be sitting in a conversation like this, and he'd talk over you like I just did there to say his own thing about himself, and everyone he's with just has to go, yep, cool.
I was watching a TikTok. I don't know who the fuck he is. Oh, it does my head in. He's big. He's African American, big bloke. He does like small pub nights and stuff, and he bases his whole show around the crowd. And there was this Vietnamese girl, and he goes, look at you. He goes, don't mind ma. And she's going, no, shut up, you can't say that. He goes, do your parents gamble? She goes, no. He goes, you're fucking lying to me. And then he basically got out of her whole family fucking gambles, and he's just taking the piss out of Vietnamese people for like, he's like, what's your surname? She goes, Nguyen. He goes, yeah, fuck, who would have fucking thought? What a fucking, oh, that's surprising. For like 10 minutes was roasting her. And then this other chick like starts piping in, and he spends another 10 minutes fucking roasting her. That's all he does.
See, shit like that, I almost think that, like, you know, the Vietnamese lady would find it funny, but you'd have, like, the average Aussie lady that's sitting in the crowd that would be the one to call it racist.
Well, here's the thing. So everything is polarized in the US. So you described him as African American, right?
Yep.
If we were to describe a black person in Australia, we would say Aboriginal, probably.
No.
No?
What about pseudos?
Oh, yeah, okay. That's actually completely true.
I'll start again. Yeah. Hi, we're back. Sorry, we had a technical difficulty. Yeah.
Someone...
Yeah. Shouldn't have said pseudos, I should have said Sudanese people. Sorry.
Yeah, look, okay. Alright, I don't want to say my mum's racist,
This
but
is all in the name of comedy.
it is, because what you do is you say, hey, this is a comedy podcast, nothing is real, everything is alleged, and...
But you'd think people would understand that from the get-go.
Hey,
Just a couple of fucking young fellas talking a bit of shit.
I mean, this is what people do. Like, they sit around, like, boys get together, they chat, and sometimes shit slips out.
I can tell you what, if there was recordings of some of the nights I've had with the boys and things we talk about, we'd all be in fucking prison.
100%.
Same, especially if they're going to change the laws to say, oh, you can't say this. You know, in Canada, actually, there's laws about pronouns that you have to use them if someone identifies, and you can get sent to prison if you do it incorrectly.
And in America, in some states, I think it's all the left-wing states, if you don't respect someone's pronouns and you go against it, it's actually hate speech.
Of course,
There you
everything.
go. And hate speech is obviously
Assault.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just like being, like, King Hit outside King Street. Yeah? It's exactly the same thing, guys.
So you can actually
world.
be arrested for not calling Petra, who you knew as Peter for 25 years beforehand.
Yeah, but you know what I don't understand? When you're... So, Josh, I'm talking to you now in person, yeah?
Yes.
His name's not Josh, it's Barnzey.
Barnzey.
People call me both. I prefer Barnzey, and
Barnzey it is.
It's just, it's cooler. It's more fun.
Barnzey it is.
I don't
I'm
wanna call
talking
you
to
Barnzey
you
anymore.
face to face, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't call you a he. I don't
No.
call you a she. I don't call you a they. I don't call you a them. I call you by your name because I'm talking to you to your face. If I was talking about you to someone else, how are you going to know what pronouns I'm calling you?
You wouldn't, but
So what's the
But
problem?
what if he heard you right? There you go, I just did it then. I'm talking to you with him around.
That's
Fuck,
yeah,
I said it
that's-
again.
Yeah, okay.
Shit.
That's understandable. I don't know. That was just a little bit of wisdom from
well,
my
if
behalf.
if the pronoun thing,
I don't do a lot of that.
trying to police what other people say instead of dealing with your own problems is kind of just putting a victim mindset on yourself and going, hey, look at me. I have this problem. Treat me differently because people want to feel special. And that's fine. Everyone has a right to want to feel special, but
In reality, no one's special.
That's right. And trying to change the world and force it to bend to your own will is a sign of mental illness.
And assault.
Oh, of course. Yes. Legally.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so is it hate speech to... So if I decided not to use your pronouns, is it... Or obviously me calling you the wrong pronouns is hate speech, but is it hate speech them abusing you for not using your pronouns? Well, that's assault.
Yeah.
Verbal assault.
Yeah.
I don't feel safe
Yeah,
in
but
my
it
little
depends.
circle
It
of
depends
safety.
it depends the caliber of person that you're talking to as well. You can be talking to somebody that just like really doesn't give a fuck. Like at the end of the day, if you accidentally call them they're a he, and you accidentally call them a fucking she because they used to be a she or whatever. You know.
You know what the funniest thing about like the whole he, she, they, them pronouns thing? It's people when they choose their allegiance and whose side goes onto whose. Caitlyn Jenner is probably the most like conservative, like
Because she
fame-
sees herself as a woman, and that's it.
Yes,
That's it. She got her dick cut off. That's it.
right. She went the whole
9 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to like. I think you really should like.
If you're
get the
gonna commit,
license.
fucking commit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you do the chop, you get the license, then you get to do the pronouns. If you've got a beard and you're saying she, her, you don't get to do that. You got to have a little card that says she, her, shave your face.
Fucking hell.
Well, like, if there's anyone here, like, who, like, actually has a problem with statements like that and wants to voice it themselves, it's like, they just want to be seen and heard. So if anyone actually does want to start a conversation like that, I will happily talk to anyone who has, like, that sort of, like, pronoun complex about themselves.
You should do a common ground conversation thing where you put a sign on your stomach and you go and walk through fucking Flinders Street, asking people to find common ground.
It really depends what protest is on what day, because, you know, they always change, and it's the same protesters in the same spot. It's just, all right, today we're doing this.
I've got a question. So, I was at Tiffany soccer training and I was speaking to the coach. Actually, I was at a match, and while they're playing, we're having this discussion, right? Nothing to do with soccer because I'm assistant coach. I've got a coach. Tiffany and both of my sisters play for this team.
Mm-hmm.
So they're playing, They're playing their game. They're fucking winning like 5 or 6-0 at this point. So it's like focus has started to drift away from them. And I start talking to Stav, the coach. And I'm like, and we're talking about the protest, what's those fucking end of the world protesters, the climate change ones? What are they called?
Yeah,
I think climate change protesters are.
Nah, there's a fucking name.
The oil.
No, not the oil. They got the fucking name with the redback spider symbol on them.
I don't know. It mustn't be that important.
Anyway.
I'll see if I can search it up because we can do that.
And
they mustn't be doing that good of a job.
And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Stav, I'm like, imagine I'm in the city, and I'm at traffic lights, and these people decide to fucking come and glue their hands to the road, in the middle of the road, and on the front car. Would it be bad if I would just fucking run over them? Because I would do it.
One. If one person does it, they'll never fucking glue themselves ever again to the road.
Start gluing themselves to cars. Extinction Rebellion, that's the fucking name.
That's a cool name. That doesn't deserve to be like the name of a climate change group.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Is it a group or a cult?
It's a group. No religion involved. So
yeah, okay. No, that's fair enough.
They really believe in the whole climate thing. You know, even like as far back as like the 70s and 80s. This is going to make me sound like a climate change denier. As far back as
fake.
40, 50 years ago, of course it is. There are.
He's one of them.
Make me sound like a climate change denier.
He's one of them.
Proceeds to discuss it and says it's fake.
He's one of them. He's one of the Extinction Rebellion people.
Hey, people have been saying this for years.
He fucking dressed like it today.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. No, but there's no camera, so there's no proof. This could be indisputable claims, and now that you've outed me out as a climate change denier, now
we're gonna have more hate speech on Instagram now.
Yeah.
Josh is gonna start posting about us now.
Look, they're the sort of people who I wouldn't care about.
Yeah.
Nah.
You and I both.
What they do is right. I think they get in the spirit of, hey, I want to change the world. I want to make a difference, which is great. But they go about it the wrong way, all right? Let's plug up traffic and say, hey, coal is ruining our streets or, like, polluting the air.
All the petrol they're wasting in all the cars parked.
That's exactly right, with 3 hours of peak hour traffic. Yeah, how smart is that? Genius.
I never thought of
Can
that.
I tell you something? I'm gonna put my nerdy electrician shit out. So, you know, in America, by 2050, they want to make it carbon neutral, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, all your Teslas and all that stuff, their batteries, do you know what they're made out of?
Isn't it cobalt?
No, lithium.
Lithium, okay.
You know, lithium takes 1,000 years to decompose. It's actually and it's buried very far into the ground. So I don't know where you're going to get fucking electric excavators, massive electric excavators.
See, that's why they get these really small children with tiny hands, and they get to put their hands into the little gap, and they get to dig really far in. And it's because the kids have
that's what they do in
hands.
China, man.
Oh, no, it's everywhere.
That's what they do in China.
There's an emerald mine in Africa somewhere, and that's how Elon Musk got rich. Like, look, now it's a conspiracy rabbit hole.
Bro, it smells like cheap wine, man.
Oh, yeah, for those who can't see, because that's everyone and no one. Yeah.
Anyway, keep
I'm
going.
not
We don't have to
drinking it,
try.
I'm
Yeah,
smelling it.
We'll just hold on to it. Yeah, hold on to the little party drink. Yeah, so, like, Elon Musk's fortune comes
You know
from
it
his family.
Sorry.
Nah.
It smells like cruisers. Hey, don't try it.
Oh, it does a little bit.
I've always been curious how Elon Musk made his fortune. It's definitely not from Tesla.
No. His parents have like an emerald mine, and then on Twitter, so it was like, "All right, someone prove I will give them $100,000." And then his dad responds to the tweet, "Actually, I can prove it." Deleted.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking Twitter.
Banned off Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, I happened to come across 3 bottles of Prime.
Wow, what did you just pay for that? Like $400?
$4.99.
$4.99.
Is this from Woolies?
Full Woolies.
It's different.
Yes, have you seen that TikTok?
Yeah, the 2 bottles, that
Yep.
English lady with the Indian man.
Yep.
He goes, this is Prime from America, and this is why it's $10.
So let's
Then you got Prime here.
try and myth bust,
$4.50.
myth bust something. So apparently, this Made in America sign here just tears right off.
Oh, that's great.
Made in China.
It is completely different. Anyway, we've
Isn't
got
there... Hang on. So I heard about Prime and the fact that it wasn't released in Australia initially because of like the caffeine laws, or it was
Yes.
something. It's like
Yes.
6 times the amount that you're allowed to have.
Hang on, but this is different. There's 2. This is in America as well. It's not an energy drink. This isn't an energy drink.
So what is it?
It's like a Powerade. It's a Powerade.
And what's Powerade?
Electrolyte booster. So
Okay.
It's just a hydration
Yeah,
drink.
it ups your hydration.
So is it a legal way to get around the fact that it's not an energy drink?
well, this isn't an
No,
energy
they've
drink
got-
because it's got no guarana in it.
Guarana. Caffeine? Any caffeine in it?
Guarana, no caffeine. So
it's
energy
not an energy
is
drink.
84 kilojoules, protein 0, fat 0, sugar 1 gram of sugar, sodium 100 milligrams of sodium.
All right, I'm drinking it.
All right, so
All right,
this is
take a look.
this is the orange one. We'll try the orange one first.
This is orange? Alright, cool.
Tastes like very strong cordial. Very.
It does. It's like the syrup of like
Yeah.
the fruit cup cordial, but like it's not the Cotties one. It's the one direct from Coles.
Do you like that, Tiffany? It's cough syrup.
Back in their like hype of this, would you guys have paid $25 a bottle for this?
No way.
This is fucking dog shit. Yeah, I bought the blue one. Fucking disgusting.
Oh, really? So what do you want to do? Do you want to try the other 2 now? Or do you-
Absolutely. Hang on, let me
Okay,
finish this.
Fuck it, we will then.
I don't want to finish this shit.
Just finish it.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
No, it's, oh yeah, fuck! Don't say that, Tiffany.
What's this one?
This one's lemon lime.
It's worse than that. I got work in the morning.
I'll pass it around.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, can you catch?
I think so.
Catch. Yes. You
Alright.
fucking caught it the right way up too.
I tried. So we tried orange. This is now lemon lime flavor.
You know what? It's actually not that bad.
It's actually, yeah, it's pretty good.
You reckon
It's
the
not that
aftertaste?
bad.
Still wouldn't have paid $25.
No,
a
no, no,
bottle.
no, no.
What would you? Okay, we'll go around the.
Yeah,
fucking
just fucking
thing.
take the whole
Tiffany,
bottle.
what would you rate this
Yeah.
one?
This is how much I'm drinking of this one.
Like a 7 out of 10.
George, what would you rate?
Oh, that. Oof. This
George.
smells fucking
What would you?
potent.
What would you rate the orange?
6,
4.
6.5.
It's like I've had alcohol that punches you better.
Do you know what? The only good thing about this drink
Go, take your
is
time. Who's got the lid?
it's cold. As long as it's cold. Come on, Tiffany. Skull, 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 skull. That's not happening.
Oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack
Do
after this.
We're gonna
Don't
wait
drink
for-
it.
We're gonna
Oh,
wait
sorry,
for
alright, alright.
Tiffany.
Drink it, drink it.
No,
Yeah,
don't
drink
drink
it? Oh,
it.
yeah.
No, no. Just
I'm
smell
not.
it.
Smell it.
Fuck, what
It
are
just
we
smells
doing?
like pure
fucking
sugar.
wine tasting.
Yeah.
There's no.
We
there's
should have
only-
done this out of wine glasses. That would have been
We
hilarious
should've,
for the
huh?
camera.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dan.
Pino
We
clean.
love you, Dan.
Jif.
My toilet cleaner and my floor cleaner smells like it.
Yeah, lime fresh.
Tiffany's gonna chunder.
Oh yeah. It's like
I really don't wanna try that.
multi-purpose cleaner.
That's apparently real shit.
Yeah, I don't want to try it. I'm actually very scared.
All right, ready?
All right.
I poured way too much in mine.
Oh, and you even went back for more after. You're like, oh, I'm gonna pour more.
What a fucking knob.
Genius.
1, 2,
Three.
3.
Well, that's worse.
Green cordial.
Yeah.
Hang on, I think I've still got orange in mine.
It's the aftertaste in the roof of your mouth.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
We needed a palate cleanser.
You needed water.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. You reckon we could, if pause this, get the water, and then properly taste test it? Because we've still got this.
No, you can taste the difference. You can taste the
Yeah.
difference.
But it's
I like.
still-
I prefer the lemon lime over the orange.
I'll give this a 7.
Nah, this is 3.
Worse.
I've always liked orange better, but the orange in that is just nah.
I'll give the orange a 5. I'll give the lemon lime a 6.5.
Do you need? Hey, do you need sustagen?
Sausagen. I think we both
fuck's
know a guy
sausagen?
who can hook us up.
Oh, it's an
What is
inside
sausagen?
joke.
So, no,
Sausagen.
sausagen. It's like, imagine Milo, but if it was up and go powder, and you mix it into the drinks. So it's
Yuck.
it's supposed to be like a not a replacement for breakfast, but it's like if you can't eat for whatever reason, you can drink it. But it's also
If you had a
god
food
awful.
phobia.
Yes. like a genuine fear of most foods, and if you could only ever eat 10 items on your palate, and we're talking like basic items like
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, chicken appears on there 3 times. Yeah, like
That's a shit life.
it is a shit life. And
Drives a shit
I'll tell
car
you
as
some
well.
more about it off air.
Drives a fucking shit car as well.
Oh, you got beef with the car.
Can you let me know and I'll bleep his name out?
His name.
Are you not friends with him anymore?
Not really.
Oh.
I'll tell. Look,
We'll discuss later.
I don't have a problem with him, but he's got a problem with me, so
Yeah,
I'll tell you
okay.
about it after.
Yeah,
Did you
no,
fuck
that's
his
fair.
mum?
Nah, bro.
George.
It's
Yeah.
nah, but it looks like I'll save that joke after.
He did, didn't he?
I'm
You
too-
fucking
I'm-
did.
No! Don't make me.
Give
like,
me the American flag drink. Oh, this looks. This looks
now this
terrible.
is the one that I haven't tasted. This is the only one I haven't tasted out of the 3. I haven't smelled it yet. Yeah, apparently it's
No.
garbage.
Medicine.
This is
Medicine.
Yeah.
Medicine.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What is it?
Wait till you smell it.
It's fucking medicine, bro. You know when you the cherry rubbers at fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yuck.
You know when you get the flavored rubbers at school, in
Yeah.
primary school, it's the cherry
And they
flavored
just-
ones
Yeah.
They just released the energy version of this today.
in Australia.
Ice pop.
The energy version. Yeah,
In
I'm not even
Australia,
Nah, just like the drink.
what a fucking
gonna
waste.
have this for as a shot thing. You got the lid? Or
No.
Yeah, I got
who's
the
got
lid.
the? Oh yeah. Yeah, I've only poured in like a shot's worth.
Yeah, me too. I'm
This
not
is
looking
just-
forward to this.
This is gonna cure my cough.
Literally.
Hang on 1 second. Water, fruit juice from concentrate, food acid, acidity regulators, the potassium phosphate, trimagnesium, natural flavoring sweeteners, acucephalopotassium, potassium, L-iso, L-leucine, antioxidants. It's got vitamin E, vitamins A, B6, and B12.
You know, they probably could make this healthier if they stuck this juice in a vape and you smoked it. Yeah.
Let's not talk about vaping.
Cheers. You know how Joe Rogan and Duncan Trussell do their smoking on
Tiffany, have you
4th
tried
of
this?
July? This is our version.
Oh yeah. Fucking prime energy. Where do they go?
Bro, I'm thinking, why is my back fucking sore?
What
'Cause
the
I got your
fuck?
fucking
You fucking throwing shit in my face, you fucking clown.
I'm fucking lying on your socks.
Never do that again.
Oh,
That was a good shot
it was
twice.
2 for 2, but like
Fuck
fuck
you.
man.
Fuck
No
you.
warning either. Just like, hey,
3,
look at this.
2, 1.
I
Oh,
can't get over the smell.
Oh,
fuck, bro, that's terrible.
oh, that's fucked. Have a chaser if you one out of the.
Chase.
I reckon I'm getting flavours out of the other bottles, man.
You can taste it.
This one's like distinctly
that?
different from orange and green.
The ice pop.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, nah.
Doesn't taste
Well,
that
have the
bad.
orange. Do you want a chaser?
No, it's okay.
Do you want a chaser?
I don't want to chase it with this. Nah, it's alright. I'm gonna
There's
suffer.
orange there too.
Yeah, nah, it's
If you
alright,
want
it's
it,
all good.
George.
Orange is my favorite.
Yeah,
It's got a
definitely.
night. Nah, the lemon lime's my favourite actually.
Orange flavors, like in Australia.
Nah, they got the blue one as well and the red one.
Oh, we tried the blue one.
The red blue one was shit.
That just tasted like watered down Gatorade.
Yeah, fucking tasted like ass.
I
I
threw it out the other day.
definitely won't be buying them again.
No, there's no need. Like maybe for torture purposes, but other than that,
It's giving me a stomach ache, to be honest.
That's fine.
So you want to hear a funny thing that happened today?
Shoot.
I went to the doctors. Right? Obviously, testicular cancer is a big thing these days. We all got to be aware of it.
Is this
Okay.
what you rang me about the other day?
What?
with that, just tell the story.
Go,
Tell
go,
the story,
go,
tell the story.
go, go.
Obviously, yeah, testicular cancer is a very big thing, and so I thought, you know, I'd go get my nuts checked, and fuck, was it awkward, man? It was so awkward. It was so fucking awkward, bro.
Have you been?
No,
I've never had my nuts checked either.
I got my nuts checked.
Fuck, here we
He
go.
fucking checked them. I was more scared that my balls were going to shrivel up once he got to him. So I literally had a hot shower, got the hose,
yeah,
put it under my nuts for like 2 minutes so they get nice and warm. Put like 2 pairs of undies on, pair of trackies, straight out the door. I was in the car. I was wearing a massive puffer jacket, 26 degrees, so I was
Your
hot.
gooch must have
Because
stunk.
because if you're warm, your balls hang low when your body temperature's warm, when your core body temperature's warm. That's why when you're at work all day and you're cold, your nuts are fucking
Yeah,
up
but what
your
about when
stomach.
you sweat though? It's got.
Oh,
nothing
I
to do
didn't
with
sweat.
skate.
It was about 20 minutes after a shower.
Okay, yeah.
So then I went to the doctors, and all I can think about, I'm in the doctors, I'm in the waiting room, and all I can think about was, my nuts gone up my stomach yet or what? Because if he has a look, he's going to laugh.
But if he's going to be professional, if he
So-
sees that every day,
Yeah, and I had a conversation with him. I'm look, you know, I know someone who has testicular cancer. You know, it got me a bit worried. I've got a sore nut, this and that. And he goes, oh, he's like, you might have a cyst. He's like, is it hard? I said, it's not hard. It's like very soft, like jelly. And he goes, you know, it's not cancer. Cancer's hard. So whoever's listening to this, your vape's out, bro. Whoever's listening to this, feel your balls. If you got a really like rock hard, when I mean like rock hard, like you got a pebble in your nut, go to a doctor or go straight to the hospital. Because that's what he said. He goes, if you ever touch your balls and there's something really hard on your balls, straight to the hospital.
Fuck, there you go.
And they'll cut it out straight away.
What about the prostate thing?
Nah, fuck that. Worry about that when I'm 40. So anyway, yeah, so I'm on the table and we kind of spoke. And he's like, you know, you might have
while he's got your nuts in
No,
his
no,
hands.
no, not up to that yet. And he's like, you know, oh, you probably got a cyst because if you're saying you got a little lump, but it's not hard, it might be a cyst, which is harmless. You know, people are born with it. You develop it when you're a kid, teenager, whenever. Does nothing. It's just a third nut, really. And I get up. I'm like, all right, good to know. He gave me a referral for an ultrasound. I'm about to leave. He goes, do you want me to check? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, do you want me to check if, you know, if I can feel anything?
Like, give it a little squeeze.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I'm here, aren't I? I'm like, I'm here. Like, this is what I came for.
It's like, you and my boys have already been acquainted. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
what's
you
the
know
harm?
what? You know what? When I had the mole on my back, he's the guy that cut me open. So I'm like, you know what? You've cut me open. You've fucking taken care of me. Maybe you can just feel my balls.
Feel my balls.
Yeah.
And I made this guy so fucking uncomfortable. He's very well spoken, man. He's Vietnamese, very fucking well spoken, right? And I'm holding my dick. I'm like, I'm not showing you my dick. Because he's like, you know, get on the table, put your pants down. And I'm like, I'm not showing you my dick. He goes, well, I need you to put your pants down. I said, yeah, I'm going to fucking hold it. So I'm holding my dick and he's massaging my balls and I'm going, this is fucked. And I'm like, hey, is everything all right? He goes, yeah, everything feels fine. He goes, I think you just got a little cyst on the back. I said, yeah. And he's like, let me check your other one. I'm like, doesn't hurt though, so you don't need to check it.
He's like, I want to be thorough.
He's like, he goes, no, better we check both in case, you know, there is something going on the other side and you haven't paid any attention to it.
Yeah.
So he's massaging my nuts and I'm just like, fuck me, man. What do I do here? I felt so degraded. It was fucking weird.
But remember, you asked him to do it.
No, I didn't. He offered to do it and I said, well, when in Rome.
Okay,
But-
all right.
Did getting a stiffy ever cross your mind?
It did. And that was what I was worried about because I was like, fuck, that would be awkward. But anyway, so they determined that because I kept touching it all week and I kept feeling this lump, I've actually bruised my ball, so it's swollen. My nut is
That
inflamed.
easily, though?
Yeah, because because it's behind your nut where your nerves are. I'm pinching my nerves and I'm pinching my like the blood, the veins, and all that stuff, and I'm putting pressure on my nut, so it just inflamed. But no cancer, so I don't give a fuck.
good.
Sorry to the ladies that are listening, if there are any ladies.
No. This is an
This is
insight.
something that people need to know. You know,
Yeah, I suppose educational.
it's like when I'm on TikTok and I hear about periods and all that stuff. I don't want to, but you know, you learn.
No, that's fair enough.
What's in your TikTok feed where you're getting like women targeted TikToks?
I get Down syndrome people a lot.
Yeah.
Micro wrestling, the midgets wrestling.
Oh, dude, I'm subscribed
Little
to
people.
them. They're
Yeah, they're
fantastic.
alright.
Yeah,
they're
you are.
great.
I really hope they come to Australia. I'll go.
Absolutely same.
I'm
I'll be right
Psycho, the micro.
Have you seen? Do you know what? Have you seen what he's talking about?
Nah, not the midget wrestling.
Baby
It's
Jesus.
great. You got to watch like where they introduce everyone. So they're all like lined up around the ring, and they all go through their intros, and they're all just like
Dorito.
there's like stereotypes. There's one like the chief, and there's just like that Native American guy, and he's got the full headdress, and he goes who do, and the whole fucking lot of it. They've got all the stereotypes.
You guys are talking about Down syndrome kids that are wrestling.
No, not
No,
Down
these
syndrome
are
kids.
midgets.
Oh, midgets,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Little
Where
people.
the fuck did I
Oh.
get Down syndrome kids from?
Because I said on my feed before it was Down syndrome people and
Well, I
Micro-wrestling.
get kids with Down syndrome cross dressing.
drag syndrome.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll get those a lot.
yeah. I know which ones you're talking about.
That's a bit full on.
Yeah.
Hey, at least they're not fucking forcing pronouns on people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, okay, so speaking of forcing onto self, there's a guy, I think it's called Sam's Taylor or something. He's this Indian dude. He has a suit shop, and they're fantastic suits.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
right?
yeah.
But part of the service is basically molesting his customers.
Slaps them on the ass and stuff.
Jesus.
No,
Christ.
it's worse than that. It is like full feeling up, and like he starts off the videos. Like it's
I've
what I'll
seen
do
it.
is I've
Clip it.
saved a video, And what I'll do is on the video version, it will play.
Yeah.
And that'll be on YouTube. But for the audio version, there'll be audio on the mic. I'll use that to sync it up. And where is...
You're like an old man, bro. You
Well,
see his
what I'm
hand
trying to
like
do
this?
is get away. Oh, no one can see that. Yeah, fuck you.
Kyle can see it.
Yeah.
Trying to be Kyle. Hang
You
on.
just gave yourself up.
Sexy Filipino here, and he's old, he's fat, he's white, and he cannot get enough of me. Sexy Asian girls are what I crave, and look at this specimen.
So all the videos of all his customers always start with him going like, this sexy Indian boy, how old are you? And if the guy's like 17, he'll go, all right, we'll use the coat hanger. And then he uses that to point and shit. So like he's legally covering himself just in case. But if they say 18 or 21, he fuels them up completely. And
Yeah.
it's all part of the service.
And people actually go in and pay for that.
Yeah, because they are such good suits. Imagine making a suit so good that you're willing to get molested. That's this guy.
Fuck. If it works, it works. Some
It
guys
fucking
don't like suits.
we spoke about it on a fucking podcast ages ago, where I got molested at a suit shop.
Oh,
When I
'cause
bought my
they
last
get
suit.
just too comfortable. Like,
Fucking way too comfortable.
Yeah, but you know what I dislike when you go suit shopping?
Guy could have smelled what I had for fucking breakfast that
I
morning.
think I've bought this up before too. Females that work in a male suit shop.
that's kind of like if a dude worked in like a
Supre.
lingerie shop.
Yeah, or Supre.
Yeah, just
I thought
anywhere.
you were
Like
gonna say Mecca. I was like, fuck, I've seen it. Seen it. Didn't
Oh,
one
that's-
didn't
yeah.
one serve us at? No, where was it?
One served me at Dior. I was asking.
Yeah, Dior. That one. He fucking scared me, bro.
I actually went in asking for like.
He told her. He told Tiffany what to get. She's like, I want this. He goes, no, it won't look good on you. You need this. And she fucking. He fooled her.
Yeah. See, for me, the last suit I ever bought was unfortunately for a funeral, and I walked in and I wanted to be like, I wanted a tight fitted suit, just because I don't want an untailored suit that looks
yeah,
fucking
you wanted
shit.
to because suits are part of the look of the suit is that it fits.
Correct.
That's the point.
Correct. Anyway, I was expecting to ask some questions, this, that, the other. Now, my old man used to wear a suit every weekend. He used to play in a wedding band, yeah? He couldn't come with me, so I was expecting, some advice from the person that I was buying the suit from, yeah?
Yeah.
Anyway, I walked in, there was a lady at the counter, all good and well, beautiful, asking her a couple of questions. She didn't know how to answer any questions. And then I thought I'd test her, oh, I don't know how to tie a tie. Can you just tie this for me? She goes, oh, I can't tie this for you, but we've got ties that have got elastic bands on them, that just so you know what it looks like.
Yeah, but
for
that's
like
for the next
8-year-olds.
generation of people. No, it's for the
Oh,
kids that never learned to tie a tie. You had to learn to tie a tie in high school, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
There you go.
But before that, there was ties with the buckles as well. I was like, oh, it's for kids because it's the elastic with the clip at the back.
That's what she gave me.
Bro,
And
my
it's just-
sister's high school was like that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like, part of the thing of being a bloke is learning how to tie a tie.
yeah.
I remember I used to go to New Year's Eve gigs with my old man, because he used to play at Taylor's Lakes reception every New Year's Eve, and we used to go as a family, and we'd have to dress up, yeah. And every year I made it like a fucking priority for myself. I used to start like 2 months before New Year's Eve and learn how to tie a tie again, because it's the only time I ever like wore a tie.
Was it the same knot over and over again, or did you learn to do different knots?
Different knots, no,
Okay.
different knots. But
Oh, that's
I
good.
I came in liking the bigger and thicker knot.
Mhm.
If you know, I don't know what it's exactly called. But
I don't think it's called a Windsor knot, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I just used to get so excited, like, oh, fuck, I tied a tie. Whoa, this is grouse.
and it's correct. And it's
I-
not like 1 inch
Yeah.
like longer or shorter than the
I
other.
learnt one way in high school. Learnt one way to do it, and that's the only way I can do it.
See, my old man taught me to be very judgmental with people that wear ties.
Mhm.
Like, I can tell somebody that, not tell, but like, when you got somebody that's got like a really nice knot as opposed to a really thrown together knot.
Yeah.
If I look at someone with a thrown together knot, it's like, what, like, you're
Yeah, like you
fucked.
make assumptions on
Yeah.
them, like
You fucking
Based on
peasant
it.
dog.
yeah.
Classic example when you're watching the news. When you got like Peter Hitchener or Carl Stefanovic. Carl
I've actually never
Stefanovic
thought
has
about
no
that.
fucking idea how to tie a tie.
But
I
you'd
doubt that guy ties his own ties. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going.
I was gonna say you'd think that they would know how to do it if part of the whole thing is I'm gonna present the news. You're gonna see from like the waist up. It's my face, it's my voice. I'm presenting. Be presentable.
Yeah.
But
Carl
apparently not.
Stefanovic's got no idea. Peter Hitchener's good. He's
Yeah.
pretty much very consistent with it. But it's like Carl Stefanovic's got that real awkward, like it's not straight, it's on the piss a little bit.
Yeah,
And it just fucking annoys me.
Maybe that's his look.
Trying
That's
to
his
be like
signature look.
don't know.
relatable to the people
Yeah.
watching the news. Maybe I don't.
Hey, were you boys awake like 3 nights ago at 11:41?
Nah, I was in bed.
Dead asleep.
I was asleep too.
Everyone, it's like, how can we even talk? Oh, the
That's-
earthquake
yeah.
was bad. No, fuck it. None
Did
of
you
us.
survive?
Yeah.
Barely. I barely survived that earthquake. I almost died.
You know the one thing that shit me? The next day, everything TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, fucking Snapchat.
Hey, but only for like 24 hours, and then everyone forgets.
I don't know. I just.
Do you
it's
know
such
what
a
shit me?
thing.
Do you know what shit me? Second earthquake I've missed. I missed the last one too a couple of years ago.
And there was another
Oh.
one yesterday at 2:30 in the afternoon.
yeah, in
Croydon.
Ferntree Gully.
Yeah, Croydon, Ferntree Gully.
So-
2 days ago, and I was fucking near there, bro.
Hang on, was the first earthquake you missed recently, like in the past couple of years?
Yeah, the one in 2021.
Yes, that one. So,
Yeah, I missed that one as well. I was at work. I did not feel a thing.
okay.
Tiffany's called me. Did you fucking feel that? Fucking feel what?
Well, I went to work the next morning, and because we're still in the structure stage, I couldn't let anyone in the job until we did a walk of the job.
Yeah, because you have to do a full safety evaluation because the structure could be compromised.
Because my new role at work, I'm a HSR, Health
Yep.
and Safety Representative. So
Are you a shop steward?
basically, I don't touch tools. I don't do nothing like that anymore, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot, and a part of that was walk through the job, check all your props, make sure everything's tight, make sure nothing's moved, go up, check the deck, check the crane, and then fuck half an hour worth of checks, and everything was all sweet. I probably didn't need to check it, but it's just, you know,
It's extra safety because if something does go wrong, it's
It's
on
right
you.
the line, yeah.
I go to jail.
Yeah, that earthquake in 2021. So I was working in a warehouse and I was in like a order picker forklift. Maybe I want to say 3 stories in the air, and the thing shakes already. Anyway, I'm up there. I'm harnessed in. The earthquake hits, but I don't notice because it's already shaking up there.
Yeah.
So, like, I thought it was just oh, that was weird.
God,
Just like,
God forbid, can you imagine if the stock fell on you?
oh yeah, and
Would be funny.
at that warehouse, no, but see, at that warehouse, they're already like breaching. Because I don't work there anymore. I can talk so much shit about that warehouse.
Please do.
So they'd make you. What's the weight limit for lifting shit? Like
25
normal.
kilos.
Right. 50-kilo bed heads, and we're expected to put it away 2 meters up in the air. But it's okay. It's safe because you're harnessed in.
Where's your safety representative?
Well,
What's
see, here's
that?
the thing. Yeah, they didn't know. So the whole by that point, the whole warehouse was like. So this was before it moved, and when it moved, we were told, "Oh, the move will make everything better," and it never did. It actually made it incredibly, like, so much worse than it could have been. And this was already bad, like during the earthquake. Like people ran because they'd experienced earthquakes before in the past, but in South America. And they were worried, like, oh no, like the warehouse is going to start falling apart. And me and the other Australian guy, we didn't even, like,
No.
What's an
recognize it
earthquake?
as an earthquake. Like, what are these guys, what are they doing? And they thought it was, like, going to be the end.
Yeah, because they're
'Cause you-
used to like 7, 8 point
Yeah.
whatevers.
Do you know the reason why we don't get very big earthquakes?
Isn't it because actually, no, why don't you tell me?
So, obviously earthquakes come when tectonic plates release and build pressure with each other. So they kind of bow in a way. They bow, they bend, and they give out. And that's what an earthquake is. But in Australia, we're in the middle of a plate. So we don't have any joins around us. But through Victoria, through Sunbury, all the way through like the country, we got a fault. So there's a crack in the fucking plate.
Fault line.
So any time that plate moves, we feel it, and it's about 10 k's deep. This crack, this fault. So
I knew
that's,
you'd be able to
and
explain it better.
the actual earthquake that just happened was a fault that they didn't know about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's concerning.
Exactly. Fuck, how do you not know? But sorry, and this is why. So this earthquake was a lot bigger magnitude-wise than the one in 2021. But the one in 21 was closer to the Earth's surface. So it was a lower magnitude, but closer to the surface. That's why Betty's Burgers fucking fell down in Chapel Street. Whereas here, no one fucking felt it, even though it was technically a bigger earthquake because it was so much deeper in the ground. A lot of people heard a fucking bang. Mate, it's getting fucking choppy outside.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, that's how it works. Because we're on this fault line. There's a big crack in the earth.
See, I had a feeling you'd know more about it than me. I would have just said that Australia just is in the middle of a tectonic plate, and I would have left it at that. But that's a much better explanation.
Oh, it's
when
good
you-
to educate the people.
George is a scientist.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know.
No, I
Very
understand.
smart person, yeah.
No, I understand, like, testing things for science. Like, the whole reason... Like, I figured out the only reason, like, I don't even, like, smoke cigarettes is because I know that I'd like it too much. So, New Year's Eve, I ran a little experiment. They say like not to mix drugs and shit. So I was like, all right, well, let's just see what the combinations are like. So I had some MD, and that on that night was my first cigarette, my second cigarette, and my third cigarette. Okay.
Josh on MD.
Okay. Now, all right.
Oh, I thought you were a fucking nerd, bro.
Oh, no, dude. I'm like, we're well past that. I can fit into any subgenre. I could be the jock type, the nerd type, the fucking cheerleader type if you really want me to. Any
You don't
of
look like a
those.
jock.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny, Josh?
Yeah.
I remember fucking 10 years ago we were playing Minecraft. And now you're fucking taking MD and smoking cigarettes. Fucking cooker.
No, but it's like you try life. You do it for the experience.
That's it, yeah.
You learn more things and you get to talk about more with more people. Like, I love listening to other people's drug stories. And the best way to get that started is to give one of your own.
Yeah.
So you
Nah.
go out and you try.
Anyway, tell us about your cigarette, your
Right.
MD, and your fucking...
So after that night, so 1st of January now, I'm like, fuck, am I a smoker? If I buy a pack of cigarettes, that's it, I'm done. I'm a smoker now. And for the next 2 weeks, every single day, I thought about those cigarettes. Am I a smoker? Is this bad? It was probably the MD. Like, that's
Yeah.
probably what made them so good.
Yeah.
And I get it, I understand, but I know that I cannot go down that rabbit hole. So if I ever do MD again, I'm bringing a pack of cigarettes with me.
See, I've only ever done MD once. And it was for my 21st birthday.
Okay.
That I wasn't invited to.
There must have been more to it. Because
There wasn't.
No,
I'm telling you now.
sure.
Telling you now, there was...
I've never been invited to any of your 21st birthdays.
I haven't had a fucking birthday, and you were invited to Tiffany's 21st. I haven't had a birthday since my 13th, bro.
Anyway, we were walking back. So I did this. I can't remember what it was. Whether it was like a fucking pill or if it was fucking whatever it was.
Suppository?
I don't know. But I took the MD. That's right. It was in a clear
Capsule.
capsule.
Yeah.
Anyway, took it and fucking. I was at Billboards. Anyway, got kicked out of there because then I went and did a bumper coke with my mate Milosh. Shout out Milosh. And we got kicked out of the toilet. Milosh had fucked off and I was walking back to the apartment and I thought, fuck, I didn't know nothing about this shit, yeah? And I'm walking back to the apartment and all of a sudden I get this big gush woof, straight through my body. I'm like, fuck, here we go. It's starting to hit me, yeah?
That's when you know.
I was fucked. I was sitting in the lobby of the apartment waiting for me fucking mates to catch up to me because I had the fucking speedies. And I'm looking at this wall. This fucking wall with like lights on it.
Yeah.
It was the most cooked thing I fucking ever saw in my life. And that's the only thing I ever remember about doing MD.
There's probably people across the street who saw this one idiot like just looking at the wall, just like lost in the
This
bricks.
is like 4 o'clock in the
You
morning.
sure it's not fucking heroin or something, bro, you took?
No. It was MD. I know it was MD.
Now, heroin would be a different feeling. I'm sure this is not part of the science thing. I haven't tried heroin. Literally, the only drugs I've ever tried, I've had weed, both smoke and edible form. I've had ket. I've had MD. Yeah, MD.
I can't picture this.
Yeah, but you see, you don't have to picture this because I'm just telling you about it, right?
Yeah.
Nicotine, I count that as a drug, and alcohol. Alcohol, I'd say, is way worse than all of these because
100%.
Nah, no
Yeah.
way.
100%.
No way. No way. My one argument with this, I'm sorry, and it's just pure fact, alcohol is a lot easier to tame than anything else.
it's just more.
You have a
socially acceptable.
joint, you don't have a joint, you don't know how much you're having in with all these strains these days. Look, I was speaking to my dad about it. Back in his day, weed was weed. There was no fucking blue cheese and fucking Black Widow, all that shit, yeah? You had a joint, you knew what you were expecting. You have a beer, you know what you're expecting. You have 3 beers, I'm going to be tipsy, you know.
Well, that's
right?
why you got to educate yourself.
You got to grasp. No. Let's just say MD, for example. What happens if one day you get it's cut as? So, like, it's cut with everything. So, you have it and it does nothing to you. So, you go, I don't want a big night, so I'll go get that shit again because it didn't fuck me. But this guy's got 100% pure.
But that's where I'll stop you there. You said I'll go and get that shit. That's commercial grade. If you've got a random
What?
Joe, if that's commercial grade, you're obviously buying, selling this, that, the other. If you've got a,
No, not
fucking
selling,
Joe-
just buying to have for the night.
You're correct, buying. I'll use buying as an example. If you've got Joe Blow that lives next door to me that buys a couple of fucking seeds, grows it in his backyard and smokes it, that's weed. He's
Yeah,
not going
that's
to know
different.
what the strain is, because when you buy seeds don't come in a fucking packet like they do in America with fucking what weed it is.
It's kind of
a
just
seed.
whatever.
You
Yeah.
put it in the ground, you grow it naturally, and that's fucking that. All this bullshit fucking strain stuff has come along with people wanting to spray stuff on it and fucking this, that, the fucking other.
And that's where it goes from being, hey, it's a plant that, like, so I don't really understand why weed is as illegal as it is. Like, because to me, it doesn't even feel illegal, right? Alcohol feels more illegal to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it doesn't, because if you've got somebody walking down the street with a fucking quarter of weed in their bag, they get, most likely, coppers will take the weed off them and let them off on a warning if it's their first time offence. If you've got somebody in a car that's drunk driving, or you got somebody walking along the street that's intoxicated,
You get arrested.
correct.
But it, just like with the weed, there's different degrees of drunk. So, like, if you had 2 drinks, completely different to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people who go, oh, I can drive on 2. And while they technically can, the law says that you cannot.
Yeah.
Do you know why they won't make weed legal?
Why?
Because when you're driving and you're drinking, you got a blood alcohol level. How do you monitor that for weed?
Saliva. So there's a test if, just like in 10 to 12 hours, if they do a swab test on you, it's in your saliva after smoking it.
Positive or negative, or there's a level?
I believe positive or
So
negative.
it's positive and negative when they take it to the lab. So this is...
Or not even just
So
saliva.
no,
and drug
they
busts on the
need
side.
a breathalyzer style.
So I know
Weed thing.
I know this because
weed
my
thing.
last drug test that I did was from the company that I'm working for now. I failed it. There's tolerances in this drug test, okay? So I came back with a high reading. Whatever the high reading was a certain percent, because I had a smoke on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
I explained to them that I'd had a smoke on New Year's Eve, this, that, the fucking other, yeah? Anyway, 10 days came, had another test. It was fine. There was nothing that I passed the test. Whether it came back negative or I just passed it, I passed it. They had to take the reading off to a lab to determine whether it was a high reading or a low reading. By that, there's a certain percent. They call it, it's not up to 100%. It goes to like fucking 1,000%.
Okay, so you see what I'm trying to say? Shouldn't have to go to a lab. If there's a way you can do it where from your car, like a breathalyzer, then maybe. But I don't think, I highly disagree with people smoking weed and driving. I think it's the fucking stupidest thing.
The way that they test for alcohol is by litres of breath.
Liters of breath. How do
Yes.
they... I don't understand
When
how
you
that's measured.
blow,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's litres, but that they measure it.
Yeah.
When you put a swab in your mouth, they don't measure your saliva.
Okay.
They're actually measuring for a certain amount of breath. That's why you blow for a certain amount of time, and when they've got enough of that, you stop. It beeps and it tells you to stop because they've got enough for the reading.
Okay.
And there's my argument, is that breathalyzers have been around for fucking ever, even though America still doesn't use them for some reason. They make you do field sobriety tests. You can breathalyze alcohol. You can't do that for weed. You're either, from what they have now, you're either positive or you're negative, and that's it.
Yeah.
If they can police it better,
Driving
maybe.
wise.
I still think you shouldn't smoke weed and drive. I still think you shouldn't. At the same time, I don't think you should drink alcohol and drive.
Yeah, but what is smoking weed and driving to you? What does that mean?
Yeah, like...
being stoned and driving.
That means different things.
Being
But to you,
stoned and driving.
what's stoned? Because drunk... Because you know how with certain people, right? They'll open up if they're drunk, right? They'll be more sociable. They wouldn't sit in the corner. Sometimes they'll talk. Some people, they get up and they dance. Weed's kind of the same thing. So because you can't measure it, is that why you're so against the whole smoking while driving? Because have you ever been in a car while someone else is driving while you're stoned? You can feel the whole car. Like, yeah. So, like, okay. If you're sitting
You
in a
got
passenger
slower
seat-
reactions. You got slower reactions.
Not necessarily.
No, not when you're stoned.
There's a certain
What?
level.
No,
You're slower.
not
100%.
Not when you're stoned.
Not always. So, okay. I get better at fighting games when I smoke. So much better. Now, would you say that fighting games require a slow reaction time or a fast reaction time?
I don't know. Maybe you're just a medical anomaly.
Perhaps. But if you're in the car, again, passenger seat, you can feel like all the vibrations of the car, almost like, not like you're part of it, it's like a certain level of stoned.
Your senses are more...
Yeah. It's like, to me, that would be like what a Formula 1 driver would feel like. Like, knowing your vehicle. Like, okay, if you're a horse racer, you've got this, like, connection with an animal. So translate that to driving a car. You can feel more, and if your alertness is high enough, it's hard to measure because you've just smoked. Wouldn't that make you better at driving, not worse?
People, at the end of the
I
day,
think-
it's going to be different for everybody because people react to shit differently.
And
know
that's
what I mean?
why weed won't be legal.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's the same as alcohol. Though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I feel like weed's a big extreme though. Like being stoned.
But I, if we're going to stay on the topic of this, my opinion, no negotiations for me is alcohol is 10 times worse than weed because you're not having anybody dying from weed. You're not having any domestic abuses from weed. You're not having any fucking, bar fights from weed.
Oh, you have a lot of
You're not
people going through psychosis, ending up in
Nah, but
mental
there's more
hospitals.
to that. That's a lot of mental health stuff. If we're just strictly sticking to alcohol and weed, it's
like there's that.
alcohol
Nah.
is fucking atrocious compared to weed.
There's a psychedelics documentary on Netflix called "Have a Good Trip." Oh, I think it's either that one or the other one that they've got on there, and they talk about how the stereotype of people who do acid and jump out the window because they've got this like psychosis from doing the drug is completely made up. It was all propaganda. It was to get people to stop it. So when
No,
the
but-
CIA fucked up, and when they made LSD. So the CIA made LSD, right?
Yeah.
They give it out to people. I think it was primarily black communities. Oh, that might have been the crack
No, that was
cocaine.
that was syphilis.
That was syphilis. Okay, so there's a conspiracy.
I
CIA
think it
made
was
LSD.
the Native Americans.
Yeah, there's the whole hippie movement, all that shit, and they're like, all right, we got to keep it away from kids. Let's release these advertisements. If you do this, you will die, and this is how you die. You jump out the window. It was all made up. But-
No, but what I'm saying is, based on actual fact, I've got a good friend who works in a psych ward, and he said 90% of the people there aren't LSD, not crack addicts, not heroin. It's weed. It's always people
Because it's
that
the
are regular
because-
smokers.
Because it's the cheapest to get. It's the easiest to get.
But hang on, that's not the point. My point is that it can be very bad for you.
Commonality or causality? Because it could just be that all these people have already got these issues, and they're using weed as a form of self-medication,
You gotta
trying to like
you
deal with.
also-
You know,
you
weed
also
is
have
the
to-
weed and alcohol are the worst things for someone who's depressed.
Correct. You also have to remember too, though, when it comes to buying weed, you can have a script for that. So it's not necessarily legal.
You can have
If
a
I've- if
script
I've got a
for
script-
CBD, not for THC.
Yes, you can. You can have a script for THC.
Doesn't it depend on if you're like what state you're in?
No, you go to St Kilda here. You can get it on Ackland Street. They've got a fucking whatchamacallit,
A dispensary or
a hydroponics
Oh.
joint.
right? Yeah, I was
Um,
wrong.
Yeah, so if you get caught driving with marijuana in your system, they test it, they take it to the lab, and it comes back with a low reading. You won't get arrested.
No, you won't get arrested.
you
You'll
show
be
them
made
the
to do a
script-
drug course.
If you show no, you won't. You got a script. If I go and do a drug test,
What if you got a
for-
high reading?
Hey,
What if you got a high reading?
don't know. That's why I didn't say high reading because I've never spoken to anyone that's been pulled over with a high reading. If you go for a job interview and they ask you to do a pre-appointment medical and you've got a fucking the highest reading ever of THC in your system and they don't give you the job because of that, you can legally sue them.
I would have thought they would give you a medal because if you can get that stoned from
Yeah, well, there
the
you go
highest
too.
highest.
So where I
Highest
was
on
getting
record.
with that, if you go to a psych ward
Yeah.
and you're on medication and you've got a script which is medication, which is THC, they can't tell you not to smoke it. But they can tell you not to fucking drink piss. Because what script can you get for drinking piss?
I think the problem with debating on the substances is that someone will always say, no, this is worse or this is better. And like the argument is always comparison and not like what the base
It's just an
thing
opinion
is.
thing.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is at the end of the day.
Yeah. Like, look.
Honestly,
yeah.
you can't fucking tax it, bro.
Oh, yeah, that too. Because it's a plant.
So is tobacco, but the tax rate very well.
Oh, yeah, true. Actually, there's, I think it was in the 60s, they were like, cigarette, like smoking is, I think it was Kent Cigarettes. I think that was the company. They go, doctors say smoking is all right. So what we've done is we've put this filter, and the filter was asbestos. Like there was an asbestos filter in their cigarettes, and they go, no, it's not bad for you. Have this.
Fuck.
That's how far behind their medical knowledge is. So what's to say that in 50 years' time, that we all get proven wrong and weed is the source of medicine that helps everyone? You just don't really know. But if you say, hey, ban on this because of this, you miss out on the science experiment part where you trial and error, you find out.
Look at mushrooms.
What about vapes?
Fucking 200, 250 years ago.
Vapes are
Nah,
cancer
they're-
in a stick.
yeah.
It's vapes are fucking garbage.
Look at what. Let's talk. We don't have to talk about mushrooms, but look at mushrooms. What
Yeah.
they used to do, fucking 2,500 years ago with mushrooms.
Stone ape theory. I don't know. I know you've heard about it from
Yep,
Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
No idea.
All right, we'll tell you
Josh,
about it.
Talk.
So, do you know how imagine the evolutionary sort of timeline where there's like the monkeys and then
Yeah.
there's the like half monkey, half human, and there's a human and there's the people in between. So, there's a theory that the monkeys at the start, to begin that form of evolution, were like, because they would forage around for berries and shrooms and just whatever they could find in the forests, and they found psychoactive mushrooms that would then like open their mind, like the whole open-mindedness thing to when you do mushrooms and psychedelics and all that shit. That caused the evolutionary steps to get monkeys to evolve into humans. So the stoned ape theory is that monkeys got so stoned that they evolved into humans, and that's why we are what we are today.
And think outside the box for a second too, and this is why I partly agree with it. I was gonna say partly don't not agree with it, but I agree with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go walking, fucking, and we find a mushroom on the ground. Could be a normal mushroom. You go to the fucking under the Westgate Bridge. There's psychoactive mushrooms under there.
Are they really?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Don't tell him. He's gonna fucking go there after now.
In
you go.
scientific purposes.
What I'm trying to get with that is fucking 2,500 years ago, or even fucking 250,000 years ago, they could have been roaming just like we were, and just picking whatever and come across it. And they're like, "Whoa, what does this do?" Monkeys are smart too, yeah.
Hey, 2,500 years ago.
Whatever it is, I don't know
I was
when.
gonna say, what do you think's happening in the timeline? Because that's like,
Yeah, I'm just
that's
guessing.
biblical times, man.
I'm just guessing. I don't even know when monkeys were around. Could be a
Yeah.
million years ago.
yeah.
Don't
I was
know.
gonna say that's a bit close to the timeline because there's millions of years of evolution between dinosaurs and like humans.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't there wasn't like Jesus and dinosaurs roaming around at the same time.
I need to get a little bit better with my specifics, but
Yeah.
I think you get where I'm gauging.
I do.
with that, you know
I
what
just
I mean?
wanted to clarify there a little bit because I thought it was a little funny.
But yeah, I don't know. I just I think it's just a personal preference thing. Everyone's got their own opinion with shit, and just shit is just different.
Yeah.
Weed'll probably never be completely legal,
Yeah.
and that's just something that everybody's got to learn to fucking swallow.
It's not like it's a problem anyway. You can get it
That's
from every
exactly- yeah.
fucking street in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Do you remember? Was it someone? Oh, someone had told me they were family friends with a cop, and they call it point cooked because
Oh, sorry. Continue. I didn't know it was going to open with the sound.
Fuck's sake.
My bad.
disgraziato. If you go over the helicopter and you got the heat sensor, the fucking heat map.
Yeah.
You go over the eastern suburbs, you got the eastern suburbs. You go over the north, you go over the north. You go over Point Cook, it's like a fucking Christmas tree, bro.
I believe it.
They got chuff in the backyards everywhere.
Fucking
You
everywhere.
can see the heat off the
That's why it's
hydroponics.
the perfect place to hide it if you're going to do it because it's just so lit up everywhere.
No, but they're all people smoking weed.
Well,
Like they're all
back
people with
when I used
farms.
to smoke, Point Cook was one of the hotspots where I used to go. It was close, 10 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
Now, if fucking God knows, like
Two
there's
doors down.
Yeah, you never know.
My next door neighbour used to grow weed.
There you go.
Yeah.
My old man's ex-missus, fucking 16-year-old son, bought me fucking seeds.
Oh, yeah.
Bought me 2 fucking weed seeds. I told him, I said, mate, 2 weed seeds is going to do me.
My
much."
mate went to fucking Batman Park. He went out a night out, and they were all at Batman Park. And he found a plant behind a bush. And he took
Really?
it home.
Just dug it up
He
and
fucking took it home.
That's
Brought it up.
like the Cloud9 kick-ons. Is fucking
Yeah, that's
Batman
exactly
Park.
where he was. I'm pretty sure it's where he was at,
Yeah,
at Cloud
pass.
9. And he did kick-ons. What's it called? Pass-outs.
Yeah, pass out. It's 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking
that surely is
ridiculous.
more dangerous than just buying off someone else.
Mate,
Just like
walking,
finding
It
a
was-
plant.
walking through Batman Park at 4:30 in the morning
Yeah.
on a fucking Saturday night is the most dangerous thing you can ever do.
Why?
Oh, no, but you got to watch
Everyone's
out
on
for-
drugs.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's-
it's fucked. Trust me, I used to go with fucking Blake, Sean, and Steph.
Too many Unky J's.
Mate, Unky J's fucking through the roof, mate.
Through the oof ray.
Oof, Ray.
Fuck.
I like that. Boys, we're going to be about an hour and 10 minutes.
Are we? All right. Is it if it's still pressed? Are we pressed for time or more or?
What do you reckon?
Because I'm
I got a bit
Pretty
more
chill.
time.
bit more time. All right, let's go for.
I'm happy if you stay and I fuck off. I don't mind.
If we stay with you and I will be talking for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we probably will.
We'll find heaps to talk about.
You mentioned David Goggins before.
I did. Well, George did after he read the notes, but yes. So I wrote him in there because I know you don't know who David Goggins is, do you?
I do.
You do,
I just needed my memory jogged.
right? So, for those of you who don't know, if you imagine a guy who runs 100 miles a day with broken knees, that's David Goggins. Like,
And he was fat.
was he?
No,
Yeah.
I think you're talking about the wrong person.
Nah, he was fat.
Sure?
He was, yeah. I'll look it up. Hang on 1 second.
So,
Maybe it was prior to doing his Navy SEAL training.
well, there was a whole. I think he does. Has he written books or is he just podcasting
written
and talks?
books, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to
Yeah,
get a
switch
whole.
that off for me, George. It's hurt my fucking eyes. No, down there, down the base of it. Follow the lead.
Right there.
Switch the cunt off.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to get my hands on like David Goggins' book, and it'll probably just be the text version of everything that he says on podcasts and all his talks and all that, but it's still like I found books are a very good way of like getting information. So I've recently been reading it's a self-help book, but it's from a social studies professor from 1936.
Yeah.
And it's been an all-time bestseller consistently since then. So if a book has survived that long and is so well regarded over 100 years, it has to have had like very
sort of an
important and
impact.
valuable information in it. So I reckon Goggins' books could be looked at later, or like decades later, and there'll still be valuable information as long as it is actually useful. 'Cause
Yeah.
like whenever he appears on Rogan, that episode is in the queue straight away.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's gonna have shit to say.
They're pretty sought after episodes too.
Yeah, he was fat.
There you
He
go.
was fat. Fat Goggins. Jeez.
Those two words just don't go well together. Fat Goggins.
Nah.
Yeah.
They're probably like rattling around in his brain every time he goes for a run.
Bad.
Yeah, 'cause
Bad.
that's what
Nah.
he does. He psychs himself out. He shit talks himself while he runs to make himself run harder and faster and further. Like it's all to him. It's all mentality. Like, oh, you can do anything as long as you say in your brain that you can. You can like it's physical barriers don't exist to him.
Bro, I was on the train once listening to one of his podcasts, and I fucking felt like I believed in myself just listening to him, and I just wanted to open the train doors and jump out and see if I could survive.
Yeah,
Just, you know, 'cause if,
Just to
if
see.
I believe in myself,
yeah. Then you
It
get
could possibly
arrested
work.
for like reckless endangerment.
you know what I mean? Hey, what do you reckon Joe Rogan and Duncan Trussell are going to dress up in this year?
Oh, I don't know, because like that the 4th of July thing was on theme, on brand. I think they just did it because they were both in town anyway.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's good. Their conversations are always great. It's because do you know why they're so good at talking to each other?
They're best friends
Well, yes, but do you know how they became best friends?
through the Comedy Store.
Yes, okay, but do you know how they became best friends through the Comedy Store?
Phone calls.
Okay, there we go. So
We got there.
yeah, we did. So like, if you like back in the day, there's no internet service. It's just literally calling.
Can we
for
brief?
clubs.
Let's brief George quickly
Yeah.
about what we're talking about.
Yes.
So, Joe Rogan and Duncan Trussell met over a phone call. So, Duncan Trussell used to work at the Comedy Store, and Joe Rogan used to be a regular there. And they used to, Joe used to ring Duncan while Duncan was working, and they'd sit on the phone for like fucking 5-6 hours straight and just literally talk shit to each other. So then they decided to meet one day, and they've just been best friends ever since.
Yeah, and then whenever you work at a comedy club, regardless of what your role is, if you're the cook, the doorman, like any of that, you eventually become a stand-up comedian just from whoever you're talking to, because that's the people you're interacting with, and
Yeah.
everyone always tries it. So I think Duncan tried it. Duncan Trussell tried stand-up comedy because of Joe Rogan, and they're quite different in their performances, but it's a good friendship.
I also think Duncan's personality plays a big partner too, because they are actually two totally different people.
Yeah.
When they talk, they've just got.
Oh, yeah.
It's like me and you, just me and George, two totally different fucking views on shit.
Yeah, but that's good. That's like part of how they go. And also, Rogan's very open to learning about things.
Correct.
And Duncan likes teaching. Like, he's a...
If only Cole's like that. Fuck.
Shut up.
Life would be so much easier.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck. What do you mean, shut the fuck up? You
Here you
serious?
go.
If only I could educate you a bit.
See,
Yeah, but you
You
need to
fucking
listen to
need
me.
I don't.
I'm the one with the fucking wisdom around
I
here.
don't. Do you know what it is? Do you want me to tell you what the problem is? Do you want me
Let's
to tell
hear
you? Whoa.
guys say, listen
George,
up.
Ready?
George has
Ready?
got all the answers.
Logical
yeah?
conspiracy nut. Remember on your fucking TikToks when you said I was a tinfoil hat person?
Yeah, because you sit there with the tinfoil hat, but you were playing
this,
the joke.
this motherfucker,
Gotta think outside the box, mate.
biggest tinfoil hat prick you'll ever fucking meet,
Gotta
mate.
think outside the box.
No way.
I didn't want to jump on the bullying train with you, but now that George and I are on the same side, I'm going to just a little bit.
Here we
That
go.
that debate about the whole Disney subliminal message thing from the last episode, I listened to that and I wanted to jump in the conversation. You know when you listen to a podcast and you're like, I've got something to contribute here, but it's already happened, so there's no way to do it. Now is the time to do it. I would have, if we were doing media, prepared a PowerPoint presentation, like some of your points, but I ultimately agreed with you.
Yeah.
So the whole
Logical.
the whole subliminal messaging thing, they're not trying to brainwash kids and say, hey, this is the way to think, all right? There's a new Transformers TV show where they're like, oh, this Transformer is they, them. They don't identify as male or
The
female.
Transformers.
Literally, the Transformers, okay? They're doing it. That's how, like, not politically correct, but that's what your angle is.
Yeah,
for
but
that.
I was more so talking about like the 80s and 90s
Yes.
versions of
and they
Disney.
do hide shit. I
So
think
it's actually really funny that we bring this up, and we spoke about this on the last podcast because there was a podcast that came out last week with Ice Cube and the Nelk Boys,
Yeah.
and they were talking exactly what we were talking about on that podcast.
because it's all topical stuff, but it's because if different people have different perspectives on the same topics, that's where yes, people are talking about the same thing.
Like
but
there was
it's
they
different angles.
brought up SpongeBob,
Yeah.
they brought up Phineas and Ferb.
All right, there's one. Jessica Rabbit. What's she in?
The fuck's Jessica Rabbit?
So there's a animated. It was one of the first ever examples of animated and live action being put together in the same film. It was called Who
Space
Framed Roger
Jam.
Rabbit? No. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was
Oh
before
yeah,
Space Jam.
yeah.
And if you go frame by frame, there's like a chase scene in an alleyway, and there's all these pictures. There's a woman topless, and it's on the frame for like 2 or 3 seconds. Oh, that's sorry, not 2. It's on there for 2 or 3 frames, and you could say, yeah, that's subliminal messaging, but it's hidden as a haha. This is a thing we snuck in. It's not. Oh, we're trying to get rid of.
But do you understand?
trying to
My,
promote
do you
nudity.
understand?
Yes.
Do you understand my point though? Why feel the need to put something like that in?
And like
strictly a
I
kid's
said,
film?
for adults that are watching with their kids who can go, fuck, that's funny. Like, my
That was
kid
the
would not
part-
know
yeah.
what this is going on.
That's what I wish that you picked up on in the moment. It's
But
because
I understand that, but that's not the primary reason. You guys are forgetting the primary reason of kid shows.
it's to entertain the kids.
Correct. I
So-
understand there's going to be parents there, and you've got to make it fun for the parents too.
Yeah.
But primarily, it's for kids.
So you never hide any adult jokes so that when you have a nostalgia trip and you go 10 years later, you're 20 years old and you go, wow, I want to watch SpongeBob again just because you feel like it. You go back and you watch an old episode and you go, hang on a minute, I didn't understand that when I was younger, but that's funny now.
Exactly right.
It's- it's hidden.
I don't see it like that. I just feel like it's fucking. This might be my inner stubborn side coming out.
Conspiracy theorist.
But I don't see it like that. And there's no excuses for shit like that in my books. There's no excuse to have a fucking topless fucking lady for 3 seconds on a fucking SpongeBob fucking film or whatever film it was.
Yeah.
Because fucking parents want to go 20 years later and rewatch it and have a laugh. Like that's, if you want to have a laugh, jump on the internet or jump on TikTok and search.
This was
"I wanna
before
have
the
a laugh."
internet, though. This is what you'd hide jokes and messages. Like, so what? You just never do subtle
But,
jokes.
Can't have a laugh.
in the 80s they had fucking adult comedies. Why don't
They didn't have
adults just
TikTok,
stick
though, or phones.
That's why I'm correcting myself. Why don't they just stay on the fucking? No matter how much we talk about this is just going to be an opinion thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
Like we just kind of have to agree to disagree on.
Yeah.
I'm just stubborn when it comes to shit like this because there's no excuse. And maybe you boys is, again, I'm not saying I don't have a kid, so I don't know. But maybe when you boys have kids, you'll understand it.
I'm in the camp of all jokes, like you can joke about anything as long as it's funny, but in the example for like kids TV shows or movies, they hide it. Like it's not there. So the subliminal part,
It's not there for everyone
that's
to
like
see.
brainwashing. It doesn't fit the actual definition. It is hidden, but it's a reference. Okay, in Avengers Age of Ultron, all right, there's a scene where Black Widow falls down, Bruce Banner falls on top of her, and his face lands on her tits. Okay, adults will see that and go, ha, funny sex joke. It looks like they've just like...
Motorboated.
Right, exactly. And it looks like that, but kids just go, oh, he's fallen over.
Yeah, but that's on a very, very, very minor scale.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like let's not get into it. 'Cause
Okay,
it's
all right,
just-
all right.
yeah.
Because otherwise we're just gonna get
We're
someone's
just
gonna
gonna
get
go in
upset.
a rabbit hole. Nah, no one's gonna get upset. It's just we're gonna go into a rabbit hole.
I'll get
and
upset
it's
again.
just-
Yeah,
I got
not-
so
it's
fucking
gonna be a
mad.
fight.
I got mad.
It's just not gonna work.
Yeah,
It's just not gonna work.
Because at the end of the day, my mindset is it is what it is. There's a reason for everything.
yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, and I fucking say it to myself with stuff that goes on in my life. Sometimes it's not that deep.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. Who told us that?
Yeah,
Who said that?
Jansu.
Jansu.
I wish it
not
wasn't that
that deep.
deep, but from what I've read, and
Because you convince yourself that.
no,
it is.
no, there's nothing. No, I don't convince myself. It's just what you read and what you pick and choose to believe in, and that's what I personally pick and choose to believe in. And there's no fucking ifs and there's no fucking what
It's all
buts about it.
perspective. It's what it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
could
it
say
is.
like
Disney for me. Fuck Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Fuck them all.
You know, they're gonna like try and revive him. His head is like frozen in the Disney vault, and they're
Yeah.
gonna bring him back to life as soon as the technology is available. And then you're gonna find out exactly how racist this guy was. 'Cause
Definitely
people-
racist. Don't think he was
Oh.
a child kitty fiddler. I think he was a racist. Fucking oath, mate.
Everyone was racist back then. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even like racist. It was just normal.
Hated Jews, that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking hated him.
There's no excuse for that either, especially nowadays. He won't get if he gets revived. He won't get far in life if he's fucking pulling stunts like
I mean, he
that.
doesn't need to get far. He's fucking Walt Disney.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah.
He won't get far. He's gonna wake up. He's far. He's
Yeah, I
fucking
suppose.
one of the most famous people in the world.
Dude, I'm picturing his head in the jar, like in Futurama.
Oh my
Like
god.
that's
The
how
presidents.
I see. Yeah, like you know, like whenever there's celebrities, like and the presidents, they got that glass jar
Yeah.
with the water, and that's what Walt Disney looks like right now.
Futurama's fucking grouse.
Oh, dude, you know it's coming back.
Is it?
Okay. Futurama. Yeah, I used to watch it as a kid. I used to love it. Yeah. Then I watched it now and realized how fucking bad it was. How dirty it was.
Oh wait, so I was saying,
Never jerried.
when you said bad, I thought you meant like you didn't like. How
Nah, not shit. Like
No,
how
but like-
fucking dirty that show
Yeah.
is. And I would never have
It's
guessed.
even
as a
it's
kid.
even that what's that show where those guys used to stand on the front lawn and drink piss?
Bob's. What is it? King of the Hill.
King
Yes,
of the Hill.
King of
It's
the
not King of the Hill. King of the Hill's the same.
See, because I think maybe because of the animation style, I tried to watch Futurama when I was younger, but because it wasn't The Simpsons, it didn't click with me.
Yeah.
It fucking
Right.
basically was a Simpsons. Simpsons 2,000 years in the future.
Yeah. But maybe because it wasn't as funny because the jokes were for an older audience, because I would have been like 10.
Yeah,
maybe
I get what you're
12.
saying.
Well,
What about South Park?
That was
Oh,
all
South
rated.
Park. Yeah.
That was all rated M. South Park was obviously MA.
Yeah, South Park, you'd have to sneak and watch Channel Go at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
to watch.
South Park was not hidden. No subliminal messages. South Park
No,
was
that
fucked.
was like outright. This is what we think. Go. Or like
Yeah.
this is
Anything
our
that's
joke.
happened in the last year, we're gonna fucking take the mick out of it. Bad.
Oh, dude, you know their turnaround for episodes is like 4 days. So whenever current events happen, that's how they animate it in so quick, because from start to finish, 4 days, an entire episode.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What was the last episode about? I'll tell ya. Because I
Oh.
fucking have watched. I watched 26 seasons in about 3 weeks.
I never got into South Park.
Oh, best show ever. My favorite show.
I can't say I've ever sat
Rick
down
and
on-
Morty and fucking South Park.
Nah, Rick and Morty.
Rick
I don't
and Morty
understand
dropped
either.
as it went.
Nah,
Rick
I
and
don't
Morty's
think
like
so.
a cooker show.
Yeah. No,
Nah.
I would get like the most recent season. I would only watch it while baked. Like that was because
That's all I ever hear about Rick and Morty when my mates fucking are all fucking stoned and they tell me,
Andrew Andrew Tate. He was in the last episode.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I haven't.
They
seen
took the fucking
yeah,
piss out
I
of him.
think I've seen clips from TikTok about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Romanian sex trafficker. They just fucking took the mick out of it.
It. Oh,
And it was all about gender pronouns. It was all about men aren't masculine anymore. And, I'm trying to bring back masculinity by having spring break strippers and all this sort of shit.
dude, they
See,
were,
but how do you go about drawing the line with...
There is no line with South Park.
No, but I mean like defamation with shit like that.
so
There's
at
no
the start of the
line
message-
for defamation.
There's a
either.
message at the start of every single South Park episode. It's like all
Characters
all
are made up.
interpretations- Yeah, all characters' interpretations that seem like real people are all fictional, and this is all fiction, and none of this should reflect real life. And at that message,
Actually, I can
appears-
just read it to you because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
fucking just.
that it appears at the front of every single episode. So
Probably
when
the
you said
smartest.
there's no lines that they draw. There's a rule in, I think is the Prophet Muhammad Islam? Or is
Yeah.
it- yeah. So there's a rule about no pictures of Muhammad are allowed to exist, and they crossed that line by literally drawing Muhammad. And they've pissed off every single side. What does the message say?
All characters and events in this show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone.
It's like what I
There you
say. Everything here is satire and performance, and none of this actually happened. I say that for everything that I like that could get me in trouble, and now technically
And that's
legally safe.
That's what I said when we had the dramas a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
I said allegedly everything was allegedly.
Oh yeah, I do. I've turned allegedly into like an ongoing bit with
Yeah.
my friends, just as like a social thing. It's
I
like,
said I said the word
allegedly.
allegedly like 25,000 times on that episode.
Yeah.
And it's like
Allegedly, you did.
yeah,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah. See,
So
it's like a little fun little safety net.
yeah, literally it is.
Yeah. I want to tell you boys like a quick little story of what I did recently. So, what I've told my
Fucking knew you
grandparents.
suck dick.
Oh,
Always knew.
wow. I was going to tell a nice story about my grandparents. You're like, oh, suck dick. Nah, so we can agree, like, wog food is great.
Yeah, obviously.
Right? The border, maybe the best. It really depends. There's a joke I've heard about this. It's like, the more oppressed the women are in the country, the better the food is. Okay? So, with wog food is great because wog family, wog background. Also, I didn't even know wog was really a derogatory term for anyone who's not wog. I've just been throwing it around.
You're
like,
not
oh,
wog.
yeah, grandparents. Maltese. So, yeah.
So-
Mulak and Mifsud.
Cunt, you are not fucking Maltese
No,
at
yeah.
all. You are a
had-
skippy bush kangaroo, mate.
Wog
Oh,
had
yeah,
Wog
dude.
had something to do with wealthy I think it was wealthy old bastard.
No,
Wouldn't
it
that be
was
Wealthy old something.
yeah. What?
Ah, wealthy overseas guest.
No, welcome.
Oh, welcome.
Overseas
really?
guest.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh.
And Fob was fresh off the boat.
So what's POM then?
Just what you call a fucking English dog.
Yeah, but like, does it stand for anything?
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, I
Nah,
don't know.
10-pound pom. That was the saying back then when poms come to Australia. It was 10-pound pom, 10 pounds to come to a new country. That's, you know, the next Britain, fucking even better than Britain.
I mean, if you really pre-ordered the ticket, you would have like committed a crime. You would have like stolen some bread, and you would have been on the first ship with Captain Cook. And
Yeah,
the
that
rest
was
of his
that was the exclusive list.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your story about your grandparents
Right.
and your Maltese food?
So, I don't enjoy it because it's I've got the British taste buds. Like literally, I know it's good, but I don't get to enjoy it.
You
because-
got a fucking food phobia as well.
Nah. It's not a food phobia. It's more like I see like Richter and shit, and I'm like, nah. But I go there. I still go there regularly, like once a week. Sometimes like once every 2 weeks. Sometimes twice a week, just to get the free food fix. And my nonno, he'd always go, "Oh yeah, I've got this. I go, something happened to me. I'll tell you the story. It's a joke. You can use it on stage." Like, it's supportive, sure. I can't always necessarily do what he shares.
Yeah.
But he told me this this thing that happened. He goes, "Oh, I wanted to get my jacket dry cleaned," and I go, "All right, well, what'd you do?" And he goes, "Well, I go to the dry cleaner, and they say it's going to cost me $50, and he's wog, so he's not going to pay $50 to get his jacket dry cleaned." So he goes next door. There's a St. Vinny's. He donates it, and they do the whole thing. They do the wash, the press, they put it on display, and then he comes back the next day and buys his jacket back for $2.
That's smart.
Oh my fucking god.
So he tells me this, and I go, no, that's fucking fantastic. And he goes, "I got another one for you. All right, I was going to the hospital. I'm going for a checkup, and there's a guy next to me, and he's waiting for the doctor. He's just done some test results. He comes back and he goes, "Do you want the good news, or the bad news?" All right, and the patient goes, "Give him the bad news first, doc." And the doc goes, "Oh, we're gonna need to amputate both your legs." All right, and my nonno can hear this guy. He starts weeping. He's gonna lose his legs. You know, it's quite sad. And he goes, "All right, doc, tell me the good news." You go, "Well, the guy next door wants to buy your shoes." Right.
Fuck.
So he tells me,
That's gold.
he's telling me these stories like they're happening to him, and then he goes to his jacket and he pulls out newspaper clippings, and he's gone, "I found these jokes in the newspaper because none of these were real." He hands them to me and he goes, "Use them on stage." And I'm like, no, that's literally plagiarism. I cannot do that.
That's gold.
But he told them the way that he would if it actually happened to him. So maybe I can tell those the way that he did.
Like it happened.
Just like this, because it's plausible They're
Yeah.
good jokes, but it literally says, "Oh, this one was submitted by Jake from Werribee." Like they're literally credited in the newspaper.
Yeah.
But because he's cut them out, he thinks, "Oh no, you can use them. It's not stealing."
You're just recounting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
But no, that's what I wanted to share because I know last time you're like, "Hey, boys, tell us a joke," and I was like, "Oh, well, fucking people with Down syndrome kind of look like pugs," and I didn't have anything. But
Oh my god.
yeah,
Well, on the topic of jokes, George, do you want to end us with a joke?
on the spot. I've got one. If you don't,
What's a
Well,
good
if
one
he's
that I
got
can
one,
tell
I still want to
Barnzey?
hear it.
okay.
So we'll end with 2 jokes or 1 joke.
Have you heard any recently that I've said? Or my dad? My dad pulls some fucking crackers out of his ass.
Your dad's just naturally a funny. funny bloke.
I got one. It's not that funny. It's a wog joke. Oh, it's not even a wog joke. So there's 3 guys. There's Mario, there's Yanni, and there's Sean. And
Okay.
Mario's an Italian. Yanni's Greek and Sean's an Irishman. See that fucking fade in?
Yeah, that was grouse.
Amazing.
So yeah, they're all on a construction site, and Mario opens up his lunchbox, and he goes, for fuck's sake, my wife are making me pizza again. He goes, if I have pizza again tomorrow, I'm going to kill myself. Anyway, Yanni opens his lunchbox up. He goes, oh my god, I got to souvlakia again. If I am sick of it as well. If I have my souvlakia, I'm going to jump out the window. I'm going to kill myself. And Sean comes, and he opens his thing. He goes, oh, I don't know how to do an Irish accent. Do you know Irish accent?
No, I'm terrible at
He
accents.
goes, I've got fucking pumpkin stew again. He goes, my wife makes me fucking pumpkin stew again. I'm going to kill myself. Anyway, little they all got their fucking meals. Mario got his pizza, Yanni got his souvlaki, and Sean got his Irish stew. And they all fucking killed themselves that day. And they have the funeral, but they had the funeral together because, they were all mates. They were all on the same job site.
Right.
They had a funeral all together, and all the wives are there at the graves. They're all lined up next to each other in their graves, their plots. And they're crying, and Mario's wife goes, I don't understand why he did this. He asks for pizza every day, so I make it for him. And Yanni's wife is going, oh, I don't understand. Like, I'm my husband, I love my souvlakia. I don't know why he'd kill himself. And then Sean's wife turns around. He goes, I just don't understand. He makes his own lunch.
He
Was
just wanted to
that
be
from the
involved.
old man?
Yeah.
Yeah, gold.
Yeah.
He
The
didn't laugh,
Irishman-
though.
Gold. No,
Yeah,
I
laugh.
liked it. That's grouse.
The fucking Irishman just wanted to be included.
That's
Yeah.
grouse.
Because they're all fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Do you want to say yours quickly?
All right.
Then we'll...
Fuck. Name a woman you don't like. Anyone.
George.
George. All right. What's the difference?
Caitlyn
Nah,
Jenner.
Dalton Goodrum.
All right.
Caitlyn Jenner.
We'll pick one.
Caitlyn Jenner.
All right, Caitlyn Jenner. What's the difference between Caitlyn Jenner and a tampon?
Dunno.
Nothing. They're both stuck-up cunts. That's
Come
it.
on, bro. It's old as. Oh, that's an old
This
joke.
has been.
That is an old joke.
This has been the European Mindset and Barnzey Burns Down the World. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Boys, thanks for doing this with me.
Thank you.
Thanks
I
for having me,
enjoyed it.
too.
Thanks for coming back.
Nah, hey, pleasure's all mine. And we can do an on-camera one sometime in the near future. Maybe dress up as well. Maybe even actually do a proper 4th of July. And we'll do it
Yes.
in the studio. I haven't shown you the photos yet at the studio. I'll do
wanna
that as
see
soon
it.
as this is done.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it. The podcast is done. Go home. You got better things to do.
And go
Yeah, the
fuck yourself.
boys.